2025 was the year artificial intelligence really stopped being a futuristic idea and just changed everything. It didn't just get a little smarter, it completely rewrote the rules. So today, we're going to break down the 5 biggest models that made that happen. Let's dive in.
For so long, AI felt like this thing that was happening over there, in a lab somewhere. But 2025, that's when it became essential. It's now this invisible engine that's reshaping, well, pretty much everything, from how you look up information to how scientists are discovering new medicines. So here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the big picture transformation, then we'll get personal and look at the AI companions in your pocket. After that, we'll zoom out to the massive engines driving business and science, then touch on how AI is literally building itself, and finally, wrap up with what this new partnership between humans and AI really looks like.
Okay, let's kick things off with that big picture view. We're going to set the stage here for the 5 huge breakthroughs that are really defining this new era of AI.
You see, the biggest story of 2025 isn't really about one single super smart AI. It's about how deeply integrated it's become. Think of it like this. Intelligence is being woven into the very fabric of the tools we use and the lives we live, on a scale we've just never seen before.
So how does all this actually affect you? Let's talk about your new AI companions, because this is where AI stops feeling like just another tool and starts to feel more like a partner.
And leading this charge are 2 very different players. In one corner, you've got Google's Gemini 2.5, which is kind of the ultimate integrated assistant. And in the other corner, there's xAI's Grok 3, the chatbot that actually has a personality. It's 2 totally different philosophies on how to make AI feel more, well, human.
Gemini's real superpower is that it's multimodal. Now, what does that mean? It just means it's not stuck with only text. It can look at a data chart you have, listen to a recording of your last meeting, and read through an email, and then, this is the cool part, it connects all the dots between them. And since it's baked right into things like Google Search and Workspace, it just becomes this invisible layer of intelligence that's always there, ready to help.
And then you have Grok 3, which is all about personality. It's designed to be more of a creative partner. It gets your jokes, it understands memes, and because it can access the web in real time, it can actually debate current events with you. And this is a huge deal, because it makes really advanced AI feel approachable to, well, everyone. You're not just typing a query into a database anymore. You're actually having a conversation.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit. We've talked about our personal devices, but now let's look at the massive systems that are driving progress in business and in science. These are the real engines working behind the scenes.
For the longest time, the strategy for enterprise AI was basically to build one giant, do-it-all model, a monolithic beast that was supposed to handle everything. But honestly, that created a ton of problems. It was slow, it was risky, and it just couldn't keep up with the complexity of a real business.
So the solution is a totally new way of thinking, the agentic framework. And IBM has been a real pioneer here. The best way to think about it is, instead of one giant brain trying to do everything at once, you have a team of smaller, specialized AI agents that actually work together, kind of like a human team would.
Let me show you how that works. So let's say a cybersecurity agent spots a threat. It doesn't try to solve the entire problem on its own. Nope. It immediately pings the logistics agent, which starts rerouting data to a safe location. At the exact same time, a forecasting agent spins up to figure out the potential business impact. It's just a smarter, safer, and way more collaborative way to automate these really complex systems.
All right, now let's switch gears from the business world to pure science. The big breakthrough here is a model called DeepSeek GRM. And what it does is really clever. It fuses 2 different kinds of AI reasoning. It takes the pattern-matching, kind of gut instinct of neural networks and combines it with the strict, rule-based thinking of symbolic logic. It's like having both intuition and a rigorous step-by-step proof.
And why is that such a big deal? Because it leads to this. For the first time, we have an AI that doesn't just spit out the answer to a complex scientific problem. It actually shows its work. It can walk you through its reasoning, which is a massive, massive leap forward for building trust and transparency, especially in fields like math and engineering.
This next part is where things get a little, well, mind-bending. Because in 2025, AI got good enough to start accelerating its own development. We've officially entered an innovation feedback loop.
And you can see this happening right now with tools like GitHub Copilot X and others. These aren't just fancy code autocomplete features anymore. No, they've evolved into what are essentially AI software developers that can handle really complex coding, debug problems, and even help with architectural design. Now,
This doesn't mean human developers are out of a job. Far from it. It actually elevates them. With the AI handling all the tedious bug squashing and boilerplate code, developers are freed up to focus on the really creative stuff, on strategy. Programming is now officially a team sport between human and machine.
So let's tie all of this together. We've got these AI companions, specialized agents, creative partners. What does it all actually mean for the future?
Ultimately, it just means that intelligence is becoming part of the background noise of our lives. Businesses get these AI co-pilots, students get tutors that adapt to them, doctors can spot diseases earlier. AI is becoming as common and as essential as electricity.
And you know, this leads to a really critical shift for the entire industry, because with all this power comes a lot of responsibility. The whole conversation is moving beyond just how do we make models smarter and into how do we make them wiser. We're now focused on building systems that actually understand context and consequences.
Which really leaves us with this one final thought. For years and years, the big question was always, what can AI do? But 2025 showed us that's the wrong question. The real question, the one we all have to start answering now, is what can we achieve with it?